What is up, YouTube? So I'm headed over to Powerhouse Gym to go train some back. Pretty hyped for back. Back is my absolute favorite day to train. Partially because I get to move a lot of weight on rack pulls. I just find that to be a lot of fun. Um, Again, you always want to go like as heavy as you can in a given day. If like say one day you're like extremely strong and the next day you're not as strong, you don't want to try to do something that's not in the cards. You always want to play it safe, but back day is the day where I do kind of load up a decent amount of weight on a certain movement, which is always pretty fun. But it's not only fun for that. I just love training back. It's just fun for me. But with all that being said, I'm probably going to start with some heavy rack pulls. I've said this in the past, but rack pulls are an amazing upper back builder. I feel like barbell rows are equally as good if you know how to barbell row. And what I mean by that is I feel like it's a hard movement to almost target your back on. Again, training back is very indirect move. Like you have to train it through indirect movements because it's not like a bicep curl where you just curl the weight and then you'll feel it in your bicep. You almost have to manipulate your like limbs in your arms in a certain way to really target your back. But so that's my point with barbell rows, where sometimes you might not feel it in your back if you're not knowing the form, because you might be feeling it in your rear delts, your traps, and maybe even your biceps. So that's why I feel like rack pulls are a great alternative if you don't feel it upper back barbell rows, just because you're simply picking up weight. You want to like retract your scapula, almost like spread your lats a little bit to like while you're doing the rack pulls. And I can confidently say that every single time I've done a rack pull, my upper back has been completely fried. Now, are there benefits of doing barbell rows over rack pulls? Yes, you are getting more of a targeted squeeze in the upper back. But if you don't feel barbell rows, I don't suggest you not doing them. I absolutely suggest you still doing them and really taking that time to learn good form. But rack pulls could be a good addition along with barbell rows. But with all that out of the way, I'm definitely starting with rack pulls, and then from there I'll probably go into lat pull downs just to really stretch out my lats and get a nice squeeze on them. And after some lat pull downs, I'll probably do some sort of like a single arm low row. Again, I have the same goal in mind. On every back day. I'm really going to try to work my lower lats. If you've watched any of my back day videos in the past, you'll know that I really want to build my lats so that I could see them from the front view and the front double bicep. Now, I obviously want to work them to look better in the back as well, but I just think that looks sick when you could see your lats pop from the front in any any front pose. So I definitely want to do more lat-based movements. Just to really grow my lats more. I feel like my upper back is pretty developed just through many years of just deadlifting. I feel like that just develops a good, like, thick upper back. But with even me saying that I have a more developed upper back, it doesn't mean I'm not going to train the muscle. It just means that when you look at the set breakdown, it's going to be maybe 15 total sets, 5 being upper back, so maybe 3 rack pulls, 2 barbell rows, and then the other 10 sets will be more lat-focused movements where it's like lat push downs, lat pull downs, maybe some like single arm low rows. So that's how I'd basically break up the sets. But I definitely like starting with rack pulls when I'm nice and fresh. I get to move a decent amount of weight, and it honestly does a great job of just opening up everything in the back. And it just almost like pre-exhausts my lats as well to just have them feel phenomenal on every other movement that I do. I'm even thinking about doing a seated cable row today. I haven't done them in a while, but again, all this is up in the air right now. I could be warming up for rack pulls and they'll feel like shit. So, I mean, who knows? I doubt that'll happen. Knock on wood. But again, you got to listen to your body and do what's right. But I'm pulling up to the gym now. Pretty freaking hyped for this back day. Got to finish my warm up, and I'll see you all for the first work set of back. Peace out.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? So I'm starting off my back day with some heavy rack pulls here. This is my top set. I've got 5 plates loaded on the bar, and I believe I got 10 reps here. After the top set, I went down to 405, and I believe I hit it for 20 reps. I didn't record that set, but it looked just like this, just double the amount of reps. So typically on rack pulls, I don't like to go for more than 2 sets. It's just really fatiguing. being that I'm lifting pretty heavy weight, and I really want to just kind of open up my back and really get a good upper back pump within the 2 sets, and then really want to get into more higher volume rows and just get a really nice squeeze and stretch. Rack pulls today weren't feeling my strongest. Typically, I like to go up to about 585 to 600 pounds just to do under 10 reps for the first set, kind of go for like 6 to 8, and then do a pump set after, but just wasn't feeling great today. My lower back was feeling a bit stiff, and I just tried to make an intuitive decision to just go a bit lighter and not go as heavy today. Again, you got to listen to your body. If your body's telling you not to go too heavy, listen to it. You really don't want to get injured. And I was still happy with 500 for 10 reps. I was really happy with that. But now moving over into some lat pull downs. Again, I'm going real nice and slow and controlled on here, rowing it down nice and slow. That way I don't create too much momentum, and I can just control the squeeze the entire time. Once I get it down as far as I can, I just try to hold it for a second or two, and then go for like a couple seconds, go for about 2 to 3 second eccentric motions back up to the top. Again, the eccentric motion of the set is when you're like finished with the rep and you're coming back up to the start again. And again, rushing the eccentric motions is not really too good. You really want to control the eccentrics the entire time, go up nice and slow, and just control that stretch. Again, there's 2 parts to every movement. The part like that you're rowing the weight here, which is the concentric motion, and then your eccentric motion is bringing it back up. So if you're doing the concentric motion too fast, you're going to create way too much momentum. You're not going to be able to get a good squeeze at the bottom, and then it's going to throw off the eccentric motion because you're going to reach a point where the momentum stops and then it gets thrown right back up. So in terms of bodybuilding and just making the most amount of gains in the gym, control the movement the entire time. You know, it's good to throw around some heavy weight sometimes, but when it comes to controlling the weight, you really want to go slow the entire time. That way you're not really doing much momentum work and you're just having the muscle do all the work the entire time. So slow to row the weight, really control that squeeze, and then finish off the rep with some slow eccentrics. But now moving over into some close grip, reverse grip, mag grip. So sorry, that was a pretty long start of the name. Again, I'm really trying to grow my lower lats. So some underhand rows with a closer grip are really going to do a nice job of hitting those lower lats. As you see, I did them facing the weight, and now I'm doing them facing away the weight. Facing away from the weight, and you'll see I'm not even really rowing it down. I'm kind of rowing it out towards like my kneecaps, and this is just really engaging my lower lats. I'm really just trying to bring the weight down as far as I possibly can to get a nice squeeze. And I'm not even really rowing the weight. I'm kind of like pulling it down, like I'm doing like a rope push down. Those felt really, really nice. And the way I turned around, I kind of leaned on those knee pads that kind of hold you down in a sense. And it really put my back into a nice arched position to really target my lower lats. Again, to grow your lower lats, it's one thing I'll say, or 2 things I'll say, is to do a low row like I'm doing right here, and to do reverse grip. Reverse grip is a really nice way to target those lower lats and engage them. These felt super duper nice here as well. Again, when I can't complete a full rep, I'm still going to squeeze out as many partials as I can. Again, your body does not know what a rep is. It knows how much work it's doing. So just because you know in your head, like, oh, the rep wasn't complete, your body doesn't know that what's a full rep and what's not a full rep. It knows how much more it can take or how much it can't take anymore. So again, highly suggest doing partials to just absolutely fry the muscle as much as you possibly can. All right, so now moving over into some landmine rows. The bar attachment that I'm using here is different than the typical V-bar that I would usually use. The V-bar I usually use on here are the ones that you just kind of attach to a cable stack to do like close grip V-bar rows. Hopefully you guys know what I mean when I say that. If not, just drop a comment down below and I'll definitely show it in the next back day video or even the next video. But this attachment that I'm using here just kind of goes onto the end of the barbell, and it's a bit wider. And the fact that it's a bit wider lets me take my arms back a little bit more, resulting in a better upper back squeeze. You know, if I was using the other V-bar I was mentioning before, the fact that the bar is closer grip, it would force me to stop bringing my arms back as much, and I wouldn't get as good of a squeeze. But the fact that this is a bit wider, I could kind of pull the bar back further without my stomach getting in the way or my arms getting in the way, and it just results in a better upper back squeeze because I could just take the weight back further. I did a bit of a drop set here. This felt super duper nice. Again, I'm not rowing with my biceps at all. I'm using the wraps to do all the work, and I'm just really trying to pinch my shoulder blades together and just really try to use my back the entire time. So now I'm moving over into some rope pull downs now. These are an amazing finisher. You know, after a heavy row day and some heavy rack pulls in the beginning, I'm pretty shot from going pretty heavy on all those movements, and it just feels nice to really open up your lats with some pull downs. You know, there's no rowing involved, so your arms won't get fatigued from this. You know, just really get a nice stretch at the top and really use your lats to really squeeze them at the bottom. A good mental cue that I have to squeeze my lats is I try to pinch my armpits together. And I know you're probably thinking that sounds crazy and you can't really pinch your armpits, but just imagine doing it and even just try to do it. You know, picture there being an egg under your armpit and you're just trying to break the egg or crack the egg with your the inside of your arm. That's a great way to engage your lats. And it was a good mental cue for me to really start growing my lats. But no post-workout talk today. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you tomorrow for some shoulders.